Welcome to Advanced Instructional Design Theory, your Module 1A recording. In this module, we're going to differentiate between ID, instructional design, the instructional design models, and instruction itself. We're also going to look at components of the instructional system, theoretical foundations, defining and categorizing theories, common challenges, and then we're going to look ahead. When you say instructional design, what is the first thing that pops into your head? The first thing that popped into my mother's head when I told her that I was getting my PhD in instructional technology, she thought I was learning about how to repair technology. So when we went to her house and her TV from the 80s was not working anymore, she asked me to help her to look at it to see if it could be fixed. And when I told her I don't have any idea how to fix your TV, she said, well, I don't understand. You're getting a PhD in instructional technology. Certainly they're teaching you how to fix televisions. So let's be clear about what it is not. It is not TV repair. And I sometimes laugh at that because I finally did try to explain it to my mother what it was, and I think she has a better understanding. Hopefully you will have a better understanding when this presentation is finished. So instructional design is a systematic research-based process used to design effective, efficient, learner-focused instruction. The instruction itself is what is, after we put this together, after we design it, what does it look like? What are the materials, strategies, assessments? Instructional design models are people's interpretation of the best way to design instruction. So models can be seen as linear, like this ADDIE model down here, basic same principles of assess, design, develop, implement, and evaluate instruction. That's a very linear model. And other people, there's several design models because some people say, hey, you can't just assess once, it has to be a constant thing. So other people have circles, they have squares, they have triangles. You'll see as you read the material and as you look at the models, you'll see that there are many different kinds to explain the best way to design instruction. And that is all up to the designer of instruction, which model he or she uses. Okay, so the instructional system consists of the learner, the content, and the context. They must be analyzed and kept in alignment, and there is not one right model, theory, or delivery medium. So we just have to figure out what the best way is to create the instruction, the best sort of modality. If we're teaching someone how to put together a bike, we probably don't want to design an instruction which consists of them reading about putting a bike together. We might design more hands-on instruction as a way to understand how to put together a bike. I know that in medical school, they obviously work on how to understand the human body. And as it gets more complex and as it gets more sort of specialized, then there becomes different ways of learning other than memorizing things. There become hands-on tools that future doctors can learn, and doctors can learn how the best way to, let's say, do a surgery, for example. So there are instructional designers, believe it or not, that are a part of all types of different places of learning. I taught a master's course at Oakland University, which is close to me in Michigan, and a student in my course was an instructional designer for the medical school, because even though professors or some people may know their content, they may not know the best way to get it across so that people learn the best. Okay, so there are four basic groups of theories. We have system theory, which again tries to understand a system of learning, which is hard to understand because it's something that we cannot see, but it attempts to explain something that we cannot see. Obviously, you can read over this, but we also have communication theories, which attempt to explain how is it that we can get our message across. And that there are learning theories which help to explain how do we learn. Do we learn simply in our basic psychology classes as Skinner would have us, with condition and with stimulus response? Stimulus response, is that the best way do we learn? Do we learn by sort of taking what we have and making a connection and creating sort of ladders and things in our brain? Is that how we learn best? That more of a instead of a behavioral approach is more of a cognitive approach. So is learning more than just stimulus response? Is it a series of things that happen in our brain that help us learn? This has to do with figuring out learning theories. These are just ways that people think that we learn. And so all instruction is based on picking the theory that works the best for your instruction and to try to understand the theories so that you can design instruction that will produce the best outcome. And then instructional theories are there to how is it that we put together this learning. So very interesting and very complex. And these are all based on things that we cannot see, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So a theory is a research-based explanation of what we believe to be true. Again, I don't want to read this PowerPoint to you. You are welcome to look it over. I'm just going to try to give you an overview. A descriptive is something that explains how or why we believe something that occurs. And prescriptive is it gives us instructions on how is it that we're going to create something. So in our prescriptive, we have clear guidelines to create something, to make something. And describing, we are just trying to understand what it is. Again, all of these theories are created by people who have done research and have come out with an understanding of this thing we call learning and knowledge. So these different descriptive and prescriptive theories help with the foundation. Again, communication theories, differentiating between those. Communication theories focus on how is it that we receive information and how is it that we process it. And then the learning theories deal with more things like how is it that when we process it, what do we do with it? How is it that we get it into different sort of memories? How is it that we understand it? How is it that we can change our behavior or change our thoughts based on our learning? So again, alignment, if we say, is not personal preference, but it is key. So if you want someone to perform a task, then the learning that you design, the instruction that comes out of that would be best suited. The best would be something that is very hands-on, because that is eventually what you will need to do. So it's trying to get the right fit with the right instruction so that your learning outcome is optimal. Okay, so I hope that this has helped give you a brief overview. As you'll see, you're going to be doing your discussion activity in part 3, and then if you look over to part 4, you'll see that the module is summarized. So again, if this is something that's new to you, this is something that's kind of confusing, it's okay. It's supposed to be, because even people that design theories don't really understand them. So this whole way of instruction, of trying to get the best learning to take place, is a phenomenon because it's something that we cannot see. So I'm excited to do this journey with you. I'm excited to be your professor, and hopefully you can have a better understanding of all the components that go into designing instruction. Thank you.